The Detroit Red Wings stink. Oh my goodness, man, what the hell's going on with this team? Now, okay, I'll give all of my props to Macklin Celebrini. The guy's fantastic, the guy is amazing, the guy's awesome, he is going to be a great talent in the National Hockey League, but wowzers, could the Detroit Red Wings not have set him up in that same way? And it's not even like, oh, the team stunk and they were terrible, like, okay, they lost, great. 5-4 overtime loss against San Jose, but this is sort of the doom and gloom that I say has manifested itself over the past few weeks. I mean, of course, the Wings had a chance to win the game yesterday against San Jose, but they ultimately lost, and that does not help a lot of the sentiments from this fan base. So what I wanted to do in this video was dive into some actually positive news that relates to Detroit and what's going on with their future. Because man oh man, we can sit and mope all day about how Derek Lalonde is on the team and how they're bad and this and that, but whatever. You want to talk about the future? Hey, let's talk about the future. And it all starts with the KHL. Because right now, if you go over to the KHL standings and you see who is leading the charge in points in this league, you will see two names at the top of the list tied with 27 points in 27 games. They are Maxim Shabanov of Traktor Chelyabinsk and Nikita Gusev of Dynamo Moscow. Now, Shabanov has not actually been an NHL athlete before, however, Nikita Gusev was, and I think a lot of people, New Jersey fans especially, will remember what Nikita Gusev was in the National Hockey League. There was a period of time where he was very good, but the third overall name in KHL point production at the time of me recording this audio is none other than Vityaz Moscow region's Detroit Red Wings prospect, Dmitri Buchelnikov. He's got 26 points in 27 games played, and along with teammate Derek Parekh, Buchelnikov is one of the top scorers in the entire Continental Hockey League. And if you head over to his overall point production and his recent stint, you can see exactly where he's getting these points. Buchelnikov, 21 years old, 5'10", 170, right-handed left winger, has scored a pretty good 7 points in his last 5 games and 12 points in his last 10. He is also a +3 in each of these samples. He's coming off of a 3-point game and a 7-1 victory over Severstov Cherepovets, and he's really not looked back when it comes to KHL points. All you need to know is he's got 5 points in his last 3 games, and that kind of tells the tale of the tape there. Dmitri Buchelnikov also had himself an article written about him by Bob Duff yesterday on Detroit Hockey Now. As this article will be linked in the description, it talks about how Buchelnikov is nearing the KHL scoring lead. The player was chosen by Detroit in the 52nd overall spot in the 2022 draft, and he ended up collecting a goal and 2 assists as Vityaz was whipping Severstal 7-1. Buchelnikov also earned the game's second star nod. The article then includes a tweet from Red Wings prospects. Dmitri Buchelnikov, second round 2022, got 1 goal, 2 assists, 1 shot block, 1 hit, and 1 pass interception in 16-13 time on ice and a 7-1 win. Buchelnikov's line is carrying a below 500 team. His shot release is so quick and accurate. If you like tape-to-tape seam passes, you'll enjoy watching Buchelnikov. And that is actually true if you head over to the KHL and their 24-25 standings. Yeah, unfortunately, Vityaz Moscow region is not one of the better teams. They have 27 points in 28 games played, and they're 9th overall out of 11 in the Western Conference. This is not a good team, but Dmitri Buchelnikov has gone out there in 16 minutes time on ice-ish per game, and just put himself near the top of the entire Continental Hockey League in points. How great is that? I'm not saying this is going to necessarily mirror what he does in the NHL, after all. I mean, you think about some of the guys that are good in the KHL point production race this year. I mean, you've got Josh Levo, Nikita Gusev. Not all these players were superstars at the NHL level. I'm not suggesting that Dmitri Buchelnikov is going to do the same point production at the NHL, but there is sort of a narrative here that I kind of find funny. How Buchelnikov is playing on a team that is very subpar, his one line is doing very well, and as a result he is near the top of the league in points. Is that not kind of a story that the Red Wings could use at this point in time? If the team was bad, but they just had at least 1 or 2 guys near the top of the league in points, then I think there'd be a lot more to be excited for into the future. Alas, the Wings don't have anybody like that on their team right now. The top point scorer on the team is Alex DeBrincat. But if you talk about the guys that are in the system, obviously Buchelnikov stands out as a reasonably exciting prospect. Definitely not the most exciting NHL prospect out there, but certainly one that Red Wings fans that I think need to be interested in. Let's go back over onto the article and read some of the extra thoughts near the bottom. Almost every time Dmitri Buchelnikov appears on the ice, he's superbly active both with and without the puck, noted KHL TV commentator Anton Vasyatin. Now he is a key player for this team. Recent analytics provided by the KHL Smart Puck show Buchelnikov and Maxim Mamin of CSKA Moscow as the fastest skaters in the KHL. Each has displayed a top speed of 39.5 kilometers per hour. Buchelnikov is also among the most accurate passers in the league. He accurately connected on 335 of his passes. And I don't know about you, but that's pretty darn fast. I mean, Dmitri Buchelnikov is not allowed to skate in a school zone here in British Columbia. Of course, some of y'all may be looking at this, hey, I'm from Detroit, what the hell's a kilometer? But in school zones here in BC, the max you can go in a playground school zone when school is in session, it's 30 kilometers an hour. Dmitri Buchelnikov gets up to nearly 40. And with him being one of the better passers in the NHL, I kind of get, like, Dylan Larkin vibes from the way that his scouting report is shaping up so far. Of course, it's a little different since Larkin is a center, he's got more responsibility down the middle, but you think about speedy wingers with great passing ability, who else comes to mind? Okay, that's kind of a rhetorical question. Who's a speedy winger with some good hands and passing ability? Nikita Kucherov. No, that's way too extreme, sorry. But either way, Dmitri Buchelnikov is boasting up a ceiling that I think is reasonably good to be excited for. And the reason I say that, if you go over to the KHL and you sort by U22 skaters, because that's what Buchelnikov is right now, and you go over to the past few years' worth of play, these guys are the other comparables that you could realistically have in Buchelnikov's range of projection. None of these names are particularly bad. I mean, Buchelnikov is right there with Kirill Kaprizov in points per game at the same age. I mean, he's definitely not going to do that, but still, it's kind of funny how Kirill Kaprizov is a comparable name for Dmitri Buchelnikov points per game-wise, although the team difference does play a part in that as well. Kaprizov was on CSKA Moscow, a much better team, and a team with a lot more internal competition for ice time than what Buchelnikov has to deal with right now with Vityaz Moscow region, so it's a little bit misleading to say that, but either way, there's a very good prospect in Detroit. This is some good Wings news, along with all the other prospect development we have seen. Axel Santin-Pellikka, Sebastian Cossa, Nate Danielson, Marco Kasper. Okay, do those guys really count? Either way, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Dmitri Buchelnikov and his wave of dominance in the Continental Hockey League. What are your thoughts on how he's going to project into the future? And if you're a fan of Vityaz Moscow, let me know your thoughts as to how he's played. What can Wings fans be expecting out of this guy? The comment section is your floor. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.